All right. Sorry, that took a little bit. Hi everyone. I was like, why is the overlay graphic like still up there? And I was just like, where the heck is that button? So everyone, thanks everyone for this, for hopping on to my show today. This is JH Creative and Friends, and I'm super excited to have Reenee Williams here with CareerSource Capital Region. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Julia. So excited about this.
Yeah, so just to give everyone a kind of a background, I was inspired by something that she was presenting. I was actually on the same leads group as her with the Tallahassee Chamber, and she was presenting some opportunities for businesses that they're offering over at CareerSource, and it included some solutions that I haven't heard that was actually available. So that's one of the reasons why we tried to work out, like, in her schedule to have her on today, and we wanted to talk about that. So can you just kind of give us a little bit about your background and why you ended up joining CareerSource to help small businesses?
So I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. Came to Tallahassee for school. Ended up being doing creative English creative writing, and then ended up working as a publicist in the music industry for over 8 years with some of the industry's biggest hip hop artists. From there, I went to being a marketing coordinator for one of the biggest tax firms across the country, and then a GM and operations manager for one of the biggest gyms in the country. So, in all of those positions, one of my main goals was to always ensure we were positively impacting our community. So I'm thinking about how could I reach more people? What do I need to do to get my clients, my employers out into the community? So eventually this desire led me into the workforce development field, which has been absolutely amazing. So every day I wake up excited to see how I'm able to successfully and positively impact our community. And of course, just like with anything, there's some challenges, but I want you all to know that I'm here to help and I enjoy not just myself, but CareerSource Capital Region, we enjoy coming up with solutions on how we can better help our community. So that's what brought me to CareerSource Capital Region, and it has been a blast.
That's so awesome. So I know that it was kind of a journey, especially, I mean, and you're passionate about what you do. Tell me some of the exciting things that are happening with CareerSource, like what you talked about that day when I heard you. Was that something that you guys always provided, or is that something new? Um, yeah.
Yeah, so CareerSource Capital Region, we are a nonprofit and we are located in Gadsden, Leon, and Wakulla County. And our main mission, our main goal is to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent. And then, of course, Floridians with employment and career development opportunities. So, if you are an employer, we have a team to assist you when you need to recruit, retain, and train your talent. And then on the flip side, if you are a career seeker, whether it's your first job, entry level position, professional level, and even executive level, we have a team to assist you with career development opportunities, career advancement opportunities, and to really assist career seekers with ensuring they remain gainfully employed.
That's so cool. So you, in a sense, like it sounds like you have a database of talent and you connect talent with small businesses.
Yes, we do. We do. And although we have the talent pool available, there's still that shortage. And of course, with what we've seen with the previous pandemic, how the economy's been going, the roller coaster up and downs with things, some businesses have been closing and some people have been laying off. So that's where my department comes in. So, as the rapid response coordinator, my position is a bit twofold. There is the proactive side, which is layoff aversion, and that's where I assist businesses with strategies to prevent employee layoffs and business closures. And then there's the reactive side, that rapid response side, where if a business is facing a closure, the rapid response team is there to ensure it's a smooth transition, but most importantly, provide the resources that are needed to get those affected workers, those career employees who were laid off, back gainfully employed rapidly.
That's awesome. So one of the things that also piqued my interest, and forgive me if I'm like hopping around and getting ahead,
You're
but
good.
so it sounded like too that there are grant solutions or like tax benefits, for people going through your program.
Yes, and I'm so glad you brought that up because this is one of the initiatives that is through the state that so many people don't know about, and they have the funding available. So, for instance, if you are a business and you are having to reduce your employee hours, there is a special program. It's called short time compensation, and they will supplement or replace a portion of those lost wages directly to that affected employee. So, for instance, Juliana, you have a team member, you've got a couple of team members, you're having to reduce their hours from 40 hours down to 30 hours or 25 hours or 22 hours. That difference in hours, once you do complete the application process, complete their paperwork information, this short time compensation will pay a portion of those wages that were lost. So now you're not losing your employees. That employee's not having a reduction in their income. And if by chance you happen to lay off, they can still be getting some financial assistance to continue looking for it while they're starting to look for a position, or they can get that financial assistance until the company picks back up their hours and is able to give them back those 40 hours again.
I didn't know that you even help out businesses who might be struggling and have to lay off. So it's almost in a sense like if they know it's down the road and they're considering it, they need to reach out to you because
Yeah,
they can actually help. You can help prevent that from happening.
exactly. And that's
Yeah.
really one of the biggest initiatives right there. It has to be proactive. And this is kind of when, we're in the Tallahassee Foodies group, the Facebook groups and things like that. We see all these businesses that are closing and they're closing like the next day or they're closing the next week. So our focus is to make sure we get them before that. We have to be proactive. And, that's why I'm so thankful to be on the show. So if it's 6 months before a closure, 6 months before a layoff, 12 months. This is how we remain proactive. We can't think about it right in the moment when we're about to close our doors or we're about to let our people go. We have to think about what's going on with my company. Employers specifically have to be able to reach out to us, be able to evaluate what's going on with their company and ask themselves that why? Why am I doing this? What do I need? How do I find these resources and connect with CareerSource Capital Region so we can connect you with the other resources that you need.
This is awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think it's almost like people might think that you're just a talent, resource, but you actually do a lot more to
Exactly.
help small businesses. Your main mission it is, and it sounds like, and after, talking to you as well, it sounds like you want to be able to keep these jobs and you want to be able to keep these jobs in Florida, right? So
Exactly.
so there is a Tallahassee focused chapter. I mean, like your organization is focused on Tallahassee, or is it there's also a Florida one, right? CareerSource
There
Florida?
is. So our
Yeah.
parent company is CareerSource Florida, and we've got 24 workforce development boards across the state of Florida. Our particular board, CareerSource Capital Region, covers Gadsden, Leon, and Wakulla County. But the beauty of that is we can connect you if you are an employer in another city, another state. You have a business in another city across Florida. We can connect you with one of our sister agencies to be able to get you these same resources. So don't just limit it to here. I only cover this area, but we are statewide and can assist and place you in contact with that career source in that area with what you need.
So I know there's this thing called rapid response. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so rapid response, as the rapid response coordinator, in a nutshell, it's basically confidential, no cost early intervention service. And I always like to say confidential because when you're dealing with rapid response, we're dealing with sensitive information from these businesses. It is tough to have to go through and realize that you might have to close or go through and realize that you might have to lay off some employees. So everything that's discussed when we implement a rapid response initiative is always going to be confidential and kept between myself and that employer, our team and that employer. In addition to rapid response, the goal is to really solve the problems and not just deliver a static list of sources. So, successful rapid response strategies using layoff aversions, as I mentioned, it has to begin 6 months, it has to begin 12 months, a year, 2 years down the lines. And the employers really have to be willing to ask themselves and answer for themselves what is going on at my company? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? And the rapid response, the layoff aversion side, is going to help with those strategies, help you develop strategies for what you might need to change. And we don't have all the answers. I'm clearly okay to admit that, but we do have the connections, we do have the resources, and we do have the relationships to place you in contact, place that employer, place that career seeker with the resources all over our region that they need.
Okay, so because I was asking you about the benefits, but so the name really is rapid response, that like when you were referring to and it, because I keep thinking like, oh, it's kind of like an urgency, but it's good if people are actually prepared 6 to 12 months in advance and like start contacting you now. Um,
Exactly. That's
yeah.
the proactive
Okay.
part of it.
Yeah, awesome. That's really cool. And is this something that is pretty new, or is this something that you've had as
Yeah,
a
no, this has
program?
been going on for a while. Rapid response,
Okay.
it's been some years. It was a different name, but now collectively as a state, we're all called the rapid response team. So that it gets in people's head to like rapidly deploy. And we've just now started implementing some new strategies to be able to assist these employers. So when we think of the proactive side, that layoff aversion side, and I believe we spoke about this in our leads group, we've got that grant funding. And this is a
Yeah.
big portion that is underutilized as a whole. So it's considered the professional development training grant. And with this, what's so amazing about it is that employers can get reimbursed up to 90% of their training cost. So the proactive side is, instead of having to lay them off, let me train my team so I'm able to increase my competitiveness. Let me train my current team so I'm able to retain them and I'm not losing them to other employers. That training, that upskilling that this employee is able to receive now becomes a value. It becomes a benefit to that career seeker, that current employee, to want to stay. So with this professional development training grant, as I mentioned, employers can apply for it. I love it because it covers all industries. So if you want to be a graphic designer, you want to be a CDL, you want to be in nursing, you want to be a teacher, and you have people on your team that are needing that upskilling, this grant can reimburse that up to 90%, and be able to get you that upskilling that your current employees need.
This is awesome. Yeah, you reminded me now too, also how you said that um, it's almost like an added benefit too for businesses where you train somebody and you develop them. And I feel like it really helps with retention, because I know a lot of turnover is happening for a lot of businesses. They have a problem. But if they just invest time in actually upskilling their talent and their team, then they probably might retain them for a long term. I mean, I remember, just anyone who spent the time to invest in me, I feel like I'm more loyal to that person,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so that's what excited me too, that you actually will provide benefits if people go through you to train and upskill their team members. So
And
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, just to kind of piggyback on that, and a lot of times, because you're in the same your industry, you deal with these employers like I do. We hear a lot about how they don't have the time to train them, right? So with the grant, the professional development training grant, guess what? If you don't have someone on your team to train them, you can go and send them to a school. You can go and send them to an online course. You can have
Yes.
someone like a Julia who's into graphic and creative design come in and train them, and that hourly training wage can be reimbursed. So there's avenues, there's ways to be able to get that upskilling, that train for that current employee that you need. It's just a matter of connecting with myself, our team at CareerSource Capital Region, and letting us help develop those strategies that you might not think about. That's what it's all about. What other strategies, what other resources can I do to keep that culture, recruit, retain, train my current culture?
Do you also have partners that you work with to train, staff for businesses? There's my dog. But yeah, go ahead.
Will you say that one more time? Is there
Yeah. So do you have partners that help you with training, or you refer companies to
Oh, yes,
training
definitely.
companies?
We
Yeah.
actually have a list of training providers, which is amazing and extensive. And this is actually a plus. If you are a business who offers a training, you can actually apply through one of our centers, and you can apply to be a part of our preferred training provider list. So, although we have a list of training providers that we utilize, if a business has someone, in DC, they need to bring them in from training. That would still be covered in the reimbursement part of it. There's certain aspects that are covered when you're training. But yes, definitely. If you know someone interested in training, have them apply. Let's see if that's a void that needs to be filled, because that's how we build this community partnerships. That's how we build those relationships. And if one person can't do it, we know that this person over here can do it.
Yeah, a lot of these smaller businesses definitely won't have time or the energy and might not even have the skill set. So it's great that you have that resource as well. So I guess, what are you noticing as a major problem in this space? Because I know you were there at Teltech conference. I was there. Like everyone's talking about, like there's not enough people, there's not enough talent. So, I mean, with this in mind, as far as training goes, what do you recommend? And what are you seeing that's worked for businesses?
So this is one of those just honest moments right here. We employers have to start thinking differently. I believe in like try something new in hopes for a better change, right? So we've been doing the same thing of not having the people, not having the time. There has to come a point when we have to make the time, we have to make the investment. The internships, apprenticeships, on the job training, these are some great programs and great resources that we have. We have a big initiative right now at CareerSource Capital Region, and it's an amazing program. It's for talent and training solutions. So this program, and this is not just with Rapid Response, this is for CareerSource Capital Region as a whole. This program, our talent and training solutions, it's for anyone ages 16 and up to apply, and they can apply and they may be eligible to receive up to $10,000 in financial aid assistance. In all different genres, all different fields, we strive to stick with our key industries, nursing, CDLs, IT, manufacturing, that type of thing. However, you can see if you're eligible. The worst that happens is you're not, but the best that happens is that you are. This is a great opportunity for you. We also have our Learn, Earn, Advance program. It's called LEAP. This is for ages 16 to 24. And this is really a big youth initiative, right? Because we're learning, and you saw at the Taltech conference, we heard a lot about how we have to start younger. We can't just start with the college demographic. How do we connect with a younger group of people? And this LEAP program allows that 16 to 24-year-olds who are also eligible career seekers, and they're able to receive on the job training. They're able to receive paid internships, and it really helps them get back connected, get those skills that they needed to be more successful in our community.
It's absolutely true. We have so many available people that have the potential.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to be given that opportunity. And I know in the recent chamber conference, they talked about, there was this one speaker who said there's just not enough population to meet the demand here locally. So then we have to be open to considering too, even the support from outside of the country too. So there's that, and then there's the need for upskilling several, I mean, just the future, the incoming generation, zillennials, right? Do they
Yeah.
really want to work? How do you want to motivate them to work for someone? That's the other thing. That's
But
another challenge.
the employers are going to have to go to them. This is all about how it takes a village to raise the child, right? So the village in this case, employers can't once again just rely on that initial college graduate. There's so many other ways to be able to capitalize. Are you going to a trade? There's some great entrepreneurship programs out there. What can you do to get in K through 12 area? Are you sitting on these various councils that will connect you directly to this younger generation? Because the older generation, our generation, we're going to be moving out soon. We're going to another level kind of thing. We have to connect to the younger generation right now and be able to spark their interest, pique their interest, do open houses at your in business and invite these youth in, or go to the parent teacher conferences. So that way the parents know what other resources. They're not just, saying you have to go to college. They can say, oh, you can take this career pathway, or you can hop in and take this certification, or you can go to a technical school and be able to receive it, or become an apprentice and be able to receive the skill set. So getting it out there, sharing it with the community, letting them know there are options out there and there are resources to connect you to those options is going to really be key.
This is so good. And I jumped ahead and I started talking about CareerSource, but I want to go ahead and just, talk about you and your background. you went to FSU, right?
Mhm.
And you actually, so you attended FSU. It's totally a different background, right? Did you know that you would be end up in this uh in this I guess state with your current path in helping people figure out their career path? It always starts differently, right?
It always starts differently. And it's funny, my husband jokes with me. He has a song. He's always like, "Here I am, send me." Because he knows I'm always like, I want to help people. I want to be out there figuring out if there's a problem. I want people to know what is the solution. That's what I'm always going to ask you. So the music industry was my passion, my love. I really didn't see myself doing anything but being in the music industry. But even still, while in the music industry, I was striving to figure out, how do I help people? How do I help this client, this artist, get more into the community? That's great that you have this amazing song on the radio and you have all these award shows. But guess what? There is a soup kitchen that's doing some feeding over here, or there's a back to school drive that you need to be at. So that passion for just connecting people in the community kind of led me on my journey from there. Even with the gym and even with the tax firm, I've always been, how do I connect the office managers? How do I connect my gym members? How do I connect them to the resources that they need? And with CareerSource Capital Region, it's been such a blessing because I've been able to harness my skills, develop my skills, and then really figure out different ways to connect to the community, because it's not just this one niche, right? We have so many different avenues of how we can connect. And as a rapid response coordinator, I'm seeing all the doors open. I'm seeing the need for small businesses that need to have some funding. I'm seeing the need for these other minority-owned businesses who are aware of the resources out there. I'm seeing a need for our hidden career seekers, the hidden career seekers with barriers, the ones who might have, not finished school all the way, or the ones who might have a disability or anything like that. We're seeing all of these ways that we can connect people. And my my belief is, I want to dot the I's, cross the T's, and be that connector that a person didn't and did know that they might have needed.
That is so awesome. I mean, it's like you had to develop, you were in the music industry, and then it led to where you are now, where you're passionate about helping people, really,
Yeah.
ultimately, that's what it is. And I know nonprofit in general, now that I've been in nonprofit or involved in the last few years, it's not the easiest path, but passion really is what drives you.
Yeah.
And I, every time you talk about it, I get excited. I was like, Renee's awesome, you know?
You're
And
awesome.
we and it's funny because I met you first at UFIT, I feel like.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned, because you mentioned the
Yep.
gym, and I was like, "Wait, I know you through UFIT, but you're here."
But see, it all comes around 360. Everything is tied together, everything's connected, and this is what it's about. Like, even though we might have met at the gym, we then met through the chamber, then met in our leads group. We've even met at one of the beer fest
Her
events before.
Yeah.
So
I've bumped into you so many places, yeah, and every
randomly,
time.
but we're all
Yeah.
connected together and bridging our connections and relationships.
And, I know you talked about being proactive. So there's businesses that could be proactive. And I know from an employee standpoint or future employees standpoint, they actually could be proactive too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, CareerSource Capital Region, since we do have those locations in Gadsden, Leon, and Wakulla County, we can service you. If you can't come to our main location down in Leon, you can go to our location in Gadsden, you can go to our location in Wakulla. All three of those career centers are able to help with career counseling, resume preparation, interviewing skills and workshops, access to the internet. What if you don't have an internet? Hop on the bus, come on down, drive on down if you need to. We can help you with on the job training. Another key department, veteran assistance. So if you are a veteran, we have a whole department dedicated to servicing just veterans. You will have a dedicated veteran consultant that will meet with you, that will sit with you, that will guide you through the steps to get you back acclimated into the community, to figure out what your next job wants to be, to figure out what new training or skills you want to be. And then, of course, from the rapid response side, we can help with unemployment insurance. So if you're a career seeker who was laid off and you're confused on what happens to my benefits, how do I file for my unemployment? Come see us and we will be able to walk you through that process.
Wow, there's so many options, and they really need to just get with you. So, the best way I would imagine also is to find y'all is definitely go to their website.
Yep.
So the best website is careersourcecapitalregion.com. And here's the phone number. So, and also follow y'all on socials, right?
Correct.
You
We're
guys
everywhere.
update
Our
people?
marketing team
Okay.
is amazing. They are always posting. If you follow us on socials, you can literally see events we have going on. You can see jobs that are available. So if you're unsure what your career seeker and you're looking for a job, hop on some of our social media sites and see what hot jobs we've got right now. If you are looking for a recruitment event to attend, we've got those posted on social media. We've got veteran events coming up, Paychecks for Patriots, as well as if you are a vet, we have an amazing skills training for veterans to be able to show you how to interview as a vet when you go out on these job interviews.
Oh my goodness, this is so awesome and time has flown.
Yeah, it has. But this is amazing. Thank you so much.
I know. And seriously, like when she spoke for the leads group that one time, I was like, this is so exciting. We need to hear more of this. And so really like I think you should be presenting anytime you want to. So if you want to do this again, I just have you just do it on your own and present. And then we can always do this again for fun too. And I know that y'all will be involved with the upcoming Startup Week Tallahassee
Yes, we
event
will.
in November 14th through 18th. There are some time slots, and I Corey sent me the date, so y'all are in that week.
Yes.
Someone's presenting from CareerSource, so and so I'm really excited about that. But really, Reenee, if you want to talk about some specific programs and focus on that next time, I'd be happy to have you.
We would be honored. Thank you so much for all you do and just being this community liaison and just rocking it out. You're
Oh,
awesome.
thank you so much. So I will see you backstage if you're able to hang out.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and just conclude here. For those of you for watching us, I did see you. There's quite a few eyes that are watching us right now. And for those who catch this recording, please follow us and join us in the future. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, we are looking. We actually are booked out through January for our monthly shows. I'm almost tempted to do this every other week, and I know my team's like, "Oh my gosh, no way." Uh, so yeah, we do have shows booked out through January. We're still accepting guest speakers and potential guest speakers for future shows. So thanks again for joining us today and watching this recording. We appreciate you all and have a great day.